Wednesday, February 15th. Paul, what's happening?
Kate, Super Bowl Sunday just happened. Did you watch it? Did you see the game?
I did. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Yeah, embarrassingly, I left at halftime and didn't realize that the best was yet to come. I stuck around for the Rihanna halftime show and then I fizzled out. I'm sorry. It's
Oh man.
It's terrible.
Well, at least you saw that. That was everything to me.
Well, tell me more about Rihanna. Tell me what's going on. What happened to Super Bowl that stood out for you?
Yes, so there's so much to talk about. Like I said, Rihanna's halftime was everything. Pregnancy reveal, loved it. But one of the biggest takeaways is that technology is increasingly becoming intertwined with big events like the Super Bowl. And we touch on several really cool and fun techie things in the newsletter, but one item to note is Daigaku, a Japanese educational company, aired a Super Bowl ad that confused users and offered free NFTs, which are still selling for up to $700 despite the ad's mixed reception. So really interesting, but showing the growing interest in NFTs and the potential for companies to leverage their popularity for marketing purposes. Paul, what did you think?
Totally. I think it's funny compared to last year. There was so many crypto companies. There was certainly less coins and less crypto companies, but there were NFTs. I think for the Rihanna story that came out, it wasn't directly related to the Super Bowl, but she had one of her producers sold royalties as NFTs a couple of months ago, and since then the number of streams has like I think hit 7 million of that song that was related to the NFTs. So it wasn't actually Rihanna that released the NFTs. It was one of her producers on the track. So it's fascinating. So not only are they publicizing during the show, but specifically Rihanna herself is associated with these NFTs, which show real opportunity for utility, and we'll see more of this, I'm sure. But Kate,
Definitely.
The QR codes. Did you hear about one of the QR codes that didn't go to the right place? You know, people pay a hell of a lot of money. People pay a hell of a lot of money for those ad spots, and one of the QR codes that was supposed to point to a campaign was pointing to the Twitter handle of the CEO, which sounds ridiculous, but hey, it happened. It happened.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious and maybe kind of genius.
Maybe. I'm not sure about that. But talking about genius, you know, we've been all up in arms recently about the AI and ChatGPT and everything going on in that world.
Yeah.
I got to tell you about Bard AI and Google, who shot themselves in the foot. This sleeping giant of Google that is caught napping at the wheel, while ChatGPT and Microsoft, who has helped partly fund ChatGPT, are thriving. So people are rushing back to Microsoft and looking at Bing because they've already integrated a version of ChatGPT into Bing. Well, meanwhile, Google lost $100 billion in their valuation last week because of, they say it was related to the demo of their own chat engine that's called Bard AI. The example, the live demo, it burnt up in flames. Basically, the chatbot made a mistake. For any astronomers out there or Europeans out there, yes, some of us were very offended or very annoyed or very disappointed that their chatbot mistakenly pointed out that the James Webb Space Telescope was first to take a picture of a planet outside the solar system. It was not. It happened way before 2004 by the European Very Large Telescope. So it was just like one of these examples that should have shown how smart this engine was, and ultimately like they shot themselves in the foot. It looked really bad. Look how, and again, it was probably looked worse than it actually was. ChatGPT has its problems as well in terms of accuracy, but still, the demo's got to go well, especially when you're on the back foot.
Of course, yeah. Wow.
So Kate, tell me some more, I guess, good news. Spotify, what's happening over there?
Yes. So this is fun. So Spotify has introduced a new feature that'll allow users to exclude songs that they don't want in their taste profile and their recommendations.
Finally.
So it's designed to help users improve their recommendations by filtering out songs that they maybe don't want on there. So great example in the newsletter is maybe your kids' songs, they're really loving Baby Shark or Sesame Street, but not necessarily something that you would want on your playlist. So we finally can filter that out, and the feature will be available on Spotify. It's available now, Android, iOS, desktop, and web. So very cool. Excited to see that play out.
I'm all about it. I've already had to remove a few tracks from my possible history just because I don't want it to pop up to the kids. So
right,
like explicit lyrics.
That too.
Well, that pops up. That's been around for a while. That could exclude specific songs, but not to affect your recommendations. So I really like that is the case. Actually, it wasn't specific songs; it was specific artists. But I do like that this is more specific to do with the song as well as like the related recommendations. So I'm with you.
Totally.
I like it. I'm in.
I love it. All right, Paul. So what is the stat of the week this week?
The stat of the week, it's the number. It's like 2%, actually less than 2%. So one of the tools we love to use here at 3 Advanced is called Revenue Cat. It's a really awesome platform for connecting your subscriptions across Stripe, web, iOS, Android. Really fantastic. And anyone who works with us knows that this tool is amazing. The reporting and insights and how it brings together the data is fantastic. But they have released their state of app subscriptions in 2023. So this is our new favorite annual report from Revenue Cat. And some of the really interesting things in here, you should check it out. If you're making any apps that have anything to do with subscriptions, payments, check it out. But it turns out that only 2% of users who don't download your app will likely subscribe. So this is a terribly low number, very disappointing for everyone who's spending so much money on marketing, but it just shows that your onboarding, your UX is so important. And also some of the other tips in there. It's a wealth of information. They mention like free trials, and it's obvious to us because we've been doing this a while, but how important it is to offer that to try and win over subscriptions. But yeah, a lot of other information in there. It's great. Check it out. It's a state of app subscriptions. There's a link to it from our newsletter. And I think that wraps it up. That's what's happening.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Kate. Well, I'll see you next week.
See ya. Bye, guys.